Hello, I'm Edward Fairfax, and this is Views of a Progressive Christian, the internet video series that presents points of interest to the progressive Christian community, also to theological and secular communities worldwide. We use as our references the Holy Bible, both the Old and the New Testaments, and my own humble volume, Views of a Progressive Christian, which is available at Amazon.com, other online retailers, and can be found at the Yahoo group, Views of a Progressive Christian. There, buyers will find a direct link and a discount code to make the book even more affordable. Progressive Christianity is, in short, a seemingly new worldview that embraces both the secular disciplines of history and science, as well as the religious institutions of Scripture and prayer. Today, reason and faith. Firstly, reason demands faith. It is because all the great store of secular knowledge is inherently limited and by its own design destined to be obsolete. It is this way because the scientific community is always reevaluating its set of data based on new discoveries, that attention returns to questions of faith. If our secular knowledge can be so vastly lacking and necessarily unstable, it is important to realize that our secular appraisal of the religious world must be likewise faulty. It may be easiest to digest in these terms. As early as the middle of the 20th century, the state of the scientific knowledge put the Milky Way in a position of dominance in a static universe. Only half a century or so later, astronomers know our galaxy is a small one among countless others in a universe that is arguably expanding. As mentioned, the numerical possibility of there being life on other planets has increased with the discovery of and mapping out of this new territory. Modern mathematicians and astrophysicists agree. On Earth, the number of near-death, angelic, extraterrestrial, or other supernatural events accumulates, continuing to fascinate. The advent of video and now digital camera and camcorder technology, combined with the internet, bring these things into our home almost immediately. If the amount of sightings and other paranormal activity is not increasing, recorded evidence of them surely is. While none of these supernatural reports known to this author can be scientifically proven, their sheer number and the impressive collection of video footage demands that they be considered not merely hoaxes or hallucination, but actual phenomena. In the same way that an expanded knowledge of the universe's true size and scope changes the perspective to one which suggests life on other planets, expanded social witnessing and documentation of unexplainable paranormal phenomena changes the perspective to one which suggests life on other planes. Reason demands faith in the same way that it must now demand allowance for life of some sort somewhere in the universe other than on our planet Earth, because of the sheer numbers and recent experience, the science of statistics, and the discipline of history. For all its great boons, science is a necessarily unstable set of beliefs, unsuitable as a sole foundation for a well-reasoned perspective. No reasonable worldview can hinge on science alone. Reason also cannot fail to see the limits of man's ignorance, the limit of his scope of vision. The reasonable conclusion must be to allow for the existence of much more than can be confined to the small sum of knowledge that the sciences have collected. Patterns prove that this has always been so throughout the evolution of the sciences. A progressive Christian might point out that the historical certainty, according to our pattern, that even now, although we think we know much, as in our past, in fact, we know quite little. This leaves the vacuous store of facts, of awareness, or call it what you will, that we do not know. Any reasonable study would quickly conclude that what we do not know is beyond measure and beyond study. Surely, the reasonable mind would conclude therein would be plenty of room for miracles and other planes of existence beyond our physical, natural understanding. More than likely, it seems mathematically probable The reasonable, rational mind must allow for at least the possibility. The inverse is also true. Not only does reason demand faith, faith demands reason. The truly faithful cannot claim, nor would they claim if they were truly faithful, to know all of God's ways, to master God, or, if they believe it to be truly holy, to master the Bible itself. Ah, you who hide from the Lord your counsel, whose deeds are in the dark, and who say, "Who sees us? Who knows us?" You turn things upside down. Shall the potter be regarded as the clay? That the thing made should say of its maker, "He did not make me"? Or the thing formed say of him who formed it, "He has no understanding"? Isaiah 29:15-16. What are these faulty timelines and other antisocial rhetoric, disguised as biblical truth, but powerful men's attempts to manipulate Scripture to their own ends? True faith demands, then, that false and faulty timelines be abandoned in the face of overwhelming evidence, even if this evidence is scientific and, as such, inherently flawed. True faith demands, as it always has of martyrs and saints through the ages, that fear of persecution be likewise abandoned. Their modern forebears urged the faithful to turn to the cornerstones of our shared religious history, that they be carefully and unflinchingly re-examined. Myth and history can sometimes become so intertwined, one thing can often be mistaken for another. This inclination seems especially prevalent in the case of religion. To deny the existence or the importance of either myth or history in religious culture or in secular culture is to gravely misunderstand and underestimate both. The reason this humble series, and the volume upon which it is based, focuses on progressive Christianity in particular, and not secular theology in general, is that Christianity seems to offer the best opportunities to examine the duality of religion and science. Judeo-Christianity is already so steeped in myth as to become, for many, merely a collection of myths and political agendas. But some of the most legendarily mythic and fabled events in the Bible are actually some which are the most startlingly grounded in scientific fact. This we will pursue in a later installment of Views of a Progressive Christian. Until then, I'm Edward Fairfax, and I urge you to keep believing, but also to keep thinking.